Okay, I'm going to start assembly 3 now. I'm going to start off by placing the passenger section and opening that up. And we're going to have to rotate that on the y-axis and then on the x-axis twice. I'll make that 3 times. We'll place that out so we got it where we want it. That's okay. Now I need to make sure that I've got the front of this, and the front of the car is a little bit shorter than the back of the car. It's about 7 point something, and the back is like 8.1. So I could double check that by inspecting the part and going, and that's 7.60. So this is the front part of the car. And I need that piece of information because I need to know which of the blocks to put in where. If you'll remember that the front of the car had the 2-block assembly, so the connector part that goes here is going to be the one block socket goes here. So let's go ahead and go back to assembly in place and look for that 1-block socket. Open that up. I'm going to need to rotate that. It looks like perfect. That's what I need. And so the 2-block socket now is going to go in the back side. Rotate on the y-axis, and I think I need to do that twice more. Yep, there you go. All right, so I got the 2-block. On the 1-block, I need the passenger base. Before I start adding anything else, let's do the passenger base. Rotating it on the x-axis 3 times because I need that right side up. And that triangle piece there goes in the front left corner, or that's where the driver sits. So I'm going to have to rotate this on the z-axis also 1 time. Perfect, because that's going to sit in there just like that. The triangle part goes towards the front. All right, 1, 2, 3, and let's get the windshield in here too. And so we're rotating on the x. And I need to rotate that on the Z also. Of course, I have to do it 3 times because it's just, 90 degrees one way is 270 the other. There we go. That's where that part goes. So let's just set it up on top here for now. All right. I haven't grounded this base, so let's start with that. And now I'm going to go ahead and just do the same flush and make constraints to get these 2 pieces in place. So let's start with a constraint. A make constraint, again, we'll catch the top of this, get the rectangle, get this view of the other underside here, mate that, apply it. All right, I got to pull this out so I can see it. Let's just pull it over here, make it a little easier on everybody. Do another mate constraint. Again, I want to catch this rectangle and mate it with this side here. Apply. Last, I need the flush constraint. There and there. Okay, go back to my home view, and that piece is in place. Let's do the same thing on the back over here now. All right, do a mate constraint. This top and change my view so I get there. Apply that. Drag this part out. Another make constraint. And then catch this other corner over here. And then the flush constraint. So make sure you hit apply first. Ugh. Shoot, I just flushed that. So I just made a mistake. So I'm going to go and delete that flush constraint. Delete it. Got a little ahead of myself. Let's see. That caused that to free rotate. So let's flip it back around because I know if I don't, it's going to cause me grief. Okay. Let's see. Where am I here? I did this top one, so I need to do the side. Let's try that mate constraint again here. Sorry about that. Once there. And once there. Apply. Now let's do the flush constraint. I did not hit apply before switching it to flush. Okay. All right, so now I mentioned, so this is the back side, this is going to be the front side, and that's where that triangle needs to go. So this is pretty easy here. I'm going to go ahead and just do a mate constraint with the base and the base of the passenger section, because it has to go in here. All right. Now when I get the passenger section here and I want to do this base, I want to make sure that I catch, again, one of these little rectangle pieces like that. They're really narrow, so you may have to zoom way in and apply that. Well, I'm going to go back and hit the home button just to get me all reoriented. Okay, so here is this piece is still floating around, but it's now flush with the bottom. I should be able to just use the mate constraint on the sides and the front, so let's try that. Mate constraint, this front with this front, apply. And now let's do the side. So another mate constraint, this side with this side. And let's go back to home. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's just inspect it real quick. Looks like it's centered up pretty good. It can't move. We're in good shape. All right, last piece to go. Now on this windshield, it's made, if you'll note real quickly, there's these little grooves right here and then in the front. Those are the parts that are meant to mate up with these walls in here, and they're designed to be just a little bit bigger so that they create a friction hold as you push it down, and holds into place by those two tabs. So when I mate this, I want to make sure that I mate using these extensions, not the flat part over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a mate constraint between this part, and I need it on this face right here to keep it pointing forward. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the front now. This is a little hard to see with this just because of the color and texture, so I'm going to kind of get it at an angle so I can see it a little easier. Do this constraint, and I'm going to zoom way in here. Again, I'm looking for this flat surface there, and that's going to mate with this front part right there. Apply, cancel. And now I can't go side to side. I can just go up and down. This piece is meant for the windshield to sit right on top of this part here. So again, just a simple mate constraint between this and the bottom here should do the trick. So let's try that. Mate constraint. Make sure you get the flat part there. Let's get up underneath here. We want to get this ring right there. Awesome. Looks like that worked. Yep. So that is assembly 3 properly constructed. Save that as assembly 3, and we're ready to go to the next level.